times we're in that cycle of getting to the point and then falling short, or thinking and then turning it in on ourselves. I mean, how many of us turn that in on ourselves and say, oh, well, that must mean I'm incapable. Or the story I'm going to tell myself is that I really just don't have what it takes to do what it is I really want to do. Or I'm really not as good as I feel like I am. Or I'm being too arrogant, or all the stories. There's this energy of all of these retrogrades right now are really an opportunity to learn to access something even more phenomenal, right? And I love that, Melissa. I love that you're doing that. I love that you're feeling that. And it can take us into all sorts of places, right? It can take us wherever that is. And I think being all in is really good, to be strapped in and to be engaged in the process. Hi, hello, you guys. I'm glad you're on. So as you're thinking about that, as you're riding these waves of all of this energy, right? Really, the retrogrades that we're experiencing, 5 retrogrades, and one starting, I think it's Neptune, that's starting, which is really about starting to see the big picture. Well, do you need support in that? Is that something that you're looking for? Is that something that having someone help you work through that? It's what I do all the time. I work with a coach. I've worked with a coach, and actually I've worked with multiple coaches for the past 7, 8 years now. And it has been in that relationship of having someone hold space with me and see me in a powerful way that I can't sometimes yet see for myself, to be able to help me access and help me connect into what is powerful. So if you're finding yourself feeling stuck or feeling uncertain, and sure you have all the answers, sure you know what that will mean, I still encourage you to schedule some time, because a lot of times it's just one thing, or it's this big, and sometimes it is bigger, but sometimes what we're really wanting, we are failing to honor. And I was just thinking about that that habit. I have a great grandmother who, well, she's no longer with us, but it's really funny. She grew up in the Depression. She lived to be 109, and she put off things that she wanted most of her life. She'd put it off to wait. She'd save up for it, which was a point in pride, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it got to the point where she did not trust that she could have things just to have them. Right? It was, she was so concerned with that being too selfish, that there were things that she really did want, that she really would have enjoyed, that sat, literally gifts that were given to her that sat still wrapped in the tissue that they were given, because she hadn't worn through the items she already had. And we kind of sometimes do that. Right? We kind of sometimes just keep putting ourselves off, putting off what it is we really want, and then always having this longing, always having this discontent. It's kind of like, what I really want is a little piece of chocolate. I really just want that, one of those little, Ghirardelli squares of dark chocolate. But instead of giving myself that, because that's bad, quote unquote, right? It's bad. I'm going to go meander through my kitchen and eat all the things I didn't really want, looking for something that would have just been this, right? That's sometimes how we treat ourselves. And so really learning to honor ourselves, really learning how to be present is a skill. And it's one that I have had to learn as well. And it's something that I humbly am engaged in every day, learning how to do that. And learning how to honor that desire that shows up in me. And right now, the desire, honestly, and it has been for a little while, that I haven't wanted to touch because I was pretty sure that I wasn't going to be able to do it, was to clean up my systems, clean up my scheduling system, cleaning up my bookkeeping system, cleaning those things up. And right now, I'm doing it, and you know what? I love it. I'm loving it, and it's learning how to honor the fact that I could have beat myself up for 6 months for not doing it. But as soon as the desire comes in, I am moving into something. I'm using the energy in alignment, right? And I'm willing. And part of the willingness comes, I keep bringing it back to this meditation, but this meditation, this practice that we're doing about being in harmonic alignment is truly about how we open ourselves to give ourselves what it is we need, a full breath, to open ourselves to the abundance, to align to what it is, to trust that there is plenty in this universe. That there's plenty for you, there's plenty for me. Someone posted yesterday about, and I don't think she's on today, but she posted this story. She saw a mother duck, kind of around this grate, down to the sewer. And sure enough, there were 14 baby ducks down in the sewer that they had all gotten down in there, and she couldn't get them. And my friend was like, oh no. And she's staring, and her neighbor came over and said, what are you staring at the, grate? And so and more neighbors came, and they were so committed. They lifted off the grate. They tried calling all the services, and they're like, yeah, we can't help you. We're busy, maybe later, and clearly the mama duck is in distress, right? And so they lifted off the grate, and they got a net, got most of them, and there was one of the women had to be dangled down by her feet to pick up these baby ducks. Think about being dangled down, somebody holding your feet down into the sewer to pick up these baby ducks. Would you have been willing to do this, right? And it's like once we put our energy towards what we want, once we see the need, once we are engaged in that longing to be of service, to be in that vibration, nothing gets in our way. Not even the thought of falling headfirst into the sewer gets in our way. We do it. And what if we all understood that there was plenty of help, there were plenty of resources, and everybody committed to working in this way? Honestly, in many ways, that's what we're doing in the breathing. We are bringing together, we are coming together, and it might seem like the whole world is overwhelming. Life is overwhelming. We can't do this. Can't fix it. But what we can do is we can breathe, and we can get ourselves into right alignment, and we can breathe, which is like a prayer, which is like an energetic, vibrational hug, if you will, or a hand, or someone reaching in and lifting, giving hope to those little baby ducks, getting them out of the sewer. We're not lifting them up, but we're giving them hope that they can get themselves out, right? That is really the service that we're doing in this breath, and we're doing it for ourselves too. And how do we access that true vibration of abundance? Do we touch it every day in this practice and then not really bring it into our consciousness? Or are we seeking ways to really acclimate to it, to really see all the ways that our needs are being met, that our resources are being met, that the support we need shows up when we need it, that if there's something that we want, that all we need to do is say yes, and the resources show up, the money, the time, the people. This is that practice. How do we bring ourselves into that vibrational alignment? How do we learn to trust that more than we trust the conditions of our life? Our conditions tell us there's not enough. There's certainly not enough. There's not enough money. I don't have enough money in my account. I don't have enough time. I'm so busy. And yet when we put our yes to something, when we put our alignment with it, when we say, this is truly what I want to be guided to, everything starts to flow in. And that sounds so woo-woo, right? It seems like, oh, that's nice. That's nice for everybody else. Everybody else experiences that, but you don't understand my situation, Nea. I was that person. Oh my God, was I that person? I remember sitting there and listening to my coach when I first started doing this, and I was just like, I'm on the other end of the phone because we didn't have video conference. I'm like, yeah, well, that's fine and good for you. Let me tell you, I have a baby, I have this, I have that. I have to work. How the hell am I going to do all this? And yet, within a month of following some practices and doing the work and breathing in and actively engaging in this vibration of abundance, I'll be damned if things didn't start to happen. And I'm not even exaggerating, like money flowing in, new clients knocking at my door saying, I really want to work with you. And this has been the case, even when things start to constrain. Now my husband is in on this. And we both lift each other out. We both breathe with each other. We both are accessing this field of abundance. And of course it'll work out. We'll be fine. I don't know how, but this is not in alignment. These worries and fears aren't in alignment with what we're creating. So it is not just about touching it and feeling good in the moment. It's about, how do we build this into our life? How do we build this practice as a way of being? So that maybe, and some of you are in service, I know Melissa, Michelle, and like, you are all in service in your own way. You're doing your own thing. Some of you coaching, some of you working with people on health, some people blogging, some people, whatever that is. Through your photography, Gail, through your service in that way. How do you bring this energy into all that you do? There's no limitation. We are beyond limitation. There's no right way. The right way yesterday is not the right way today. So we have to be willing to get in that car, right? In the roller coaster of life, be willing to go up and do it again and go, oh, this time I lift my hands. Now it's fun, or this time I'm going to pay attention to this. That's the life that we're given. That's what we're here to do. And how do we learn how to work in that? How do we learn how to access that? We stay in a practice. We stay willing. We work with people who are out ahead of us, who have a different perspective than we do, that are calling up the best in us. That's ideally what a coach is. And if you're not working with somebody like this, what would it take for you to do that? Is that what you want? Are you ready? And I'm not just even speaking about me. I'm not the only coach out there. I refer people all the time because I'm not the right coach for everybody. But how do we lift each other up? How do we move each other through? Do you have somebody that you are working with that is engaging you in seeing bigger, dreaming bigger, holding a bigger vision, acclimating you to something completely beyond what you are dreaming as possible right now? If not, where are you going to implement that? If that is what you are longing for, it's time to start thinking about that. Because I'm just saying, these energies, it'd be good to use them. Because it's when there are all these retrogrades, it's a perfect time to be in a focused alignment. If you're not in that focused alignment, it can kind of take you it can topple you like a big wave, or you can learn how to ride the wave. Those are the choices right now. Be toppled, be tumbling, be trying to keep your head above water, waiting for another wave to hit you, or learn how to move in a different way. It's exciting stuff. I know I have just been delighted with getting to work with people right now who are doing that. I'm so delighted to be able to serve in that way. And for those of you who are in service, those of you who are doing this work, how are you really, really seeing that? And how are you being pulled up even higher? That's really key. Okay, well, I could talk all day, which is a dangerous thing. So let's meditate, because this practice really, really opens us up, really, really invites us to something greater by helping us acclimate to the vibration of abundance. And as we do that, what we're doing is we are really actively engaged in the infinite, right? And then our stories about who we can be start to just blow up. The limitations of the story of who we've been start to just blow apart. And we get to show up differently. We get to see through different eyes. We get to be in a different vibration. And that is for everyone right now. And as we do this, we are doing this for the consciousness of humanity right now. Because there is a connection. Okay. So let's take a couple of deep breaths and come to this now moment. Allow yourself to just come into this moment. You know what? I'm going to let you breathe for a couple times. My dog is on cue 2 days in a row. He needs to come in right now. So I'll be right back. You guys just breathe and get into this quiet space, and I'll be right back. Good. Good boy. Too funny. All right. Let's breathe. And every breath, just imagine that you're breathing in love. Just this feeling of love and appreciation for yourself. I like to see it as light, that I'm just breathing into my body and feeling that vibration of love and appreciation as it flows in. And feeling all of my cells open to receive, like little birds waiting for their mom to feed them. Just imagining every cell open, like those little beaks open. Open. Every cell receiving this beautiful breath, relaxing, bringing our attention to this present moment. Our breathing relaxes, our body relaxes. And as we breathe in, let's breathe in behind our thoughts and our emotions. Breathing past the thoughts, letting them be. There's no need to put effort into quieting the mind. Just allow yourself to fall back away from all of that noise and concern. I like to imagine that I'm falling back into a big pile of goose feathers, or a big, luxurious, soft, white beanbag. And I just relax. And the part of me that is falling away is the core of who I am. Not my thoughts or emotions, but that part of me that observes, that can be still and quiet. And I just breathe in the stillness, acclimating to it, letting this present moment wash over me. Noticing how still and quiet I feel. And breathe. It's in this stillness that I find a sense of peace and ease. And this is always available to me. And I can come here in just a few breaths. Feeling that peace and ease wash over my body, my energy. Till I'm just in a state of being. And it's from here that I can bring my attention to the physical body that I have. That's breathing, thinking, sending signals from the mind through the nervous system to every single part of this physical body. Even as I am here feeling peaceful and quiet and still, my body is operating divinely, perfectly, telling my heart cells to beat, my lung cells to breathe, my stomach, my intestine to digest, my muscles to maintain this comfortable and easy position, all without me having to think about it. And I just breathe and experience this divine operation whose sole purpose is to uphold life, to allow me to be here. I feel the appreciation well up from the core of me. Moving outward into all the cells of my body. Feeling that appreciation awaken and enliven. The divine function and capacity for every cell of my body to operate perfectly. To uphold its function and to work in harmony with the other cells around it. To uphold the integrity of the organs as they work together. To ensure that I am healthy and functioning. And it is from here that I bring my attention outward to my energy field that surrounds the entirety of my physical form. What before I may have had to imagine or form an idea in my mind, I now feel and experience easily as a core part of my vessel. My energy field is absolutely a part of my being. It vibrates and moves, has its own energetic pattern as it flows in and around me. in and around our bodies, carrying the vibration of that which is good, that which is God and holy in our vessel. It is in our resonance of being that we breathe in this vibration of good, feeling it wash over and through us, upholding a resonance that magnifies and draws that which is good for us and repels that which is unnecessary to our functioning. Our energy field is our connection to the world. It is where we first experience other. We experience it in the energetic frequency of our being, before our physical senses, before our emotions. We experience matter and energy and flow in and around us. Breathe and notice how permeable this field is as it allows that which is good to flow in easily as we breathe the air around us. We draw to us the good, and we breathe out the good into the world around us, feeling connected, alive and vibrant in our vessel. And we breathe, bringing our attention beneath our feet to our connection with Mother Earth. We feel the tether that is connected to our energy field, that is connected deeply into the earth, through which she flows her love and energy into us. Warm and thick and red, it moves in and through our energy field, in and through our physical body. As we breathe, we experience a greater awareness of this force of love, which gives us a sense of place and home and belonging. We feel the gravity of her pulling on every part of our being, every cell, every molecule of us. And we feel her love flow in and through us. Letting us know that we belong to her. She gives us atmosphere where we can breathe and thrive, where the sun becomes nourishing. The weather provides clear, clean water, nourishing the soil, which gives us an abundance of food, housing animals. We feel all of this love and life force washing in and through us, awakening our nature, that we are a part of this ecosystem, that we belong here. Every part of our being vibrating in this love, abundant in our belonging. We are fulfilled in knowing that we do, in fact, experience love at this level. And it is from here that we bring our attention above our head to our connection to the quantum field, to the connection to the divine, that which is sacred, that which is life-giving, the field of energy that is infinite, where all that is created is born from. It is this that breathed us into form. And we are now open to breathe it into our being. Our whole vessel open to receive. We are open to the light of the infinite. Open to this divine field of infinite possibility. And we breathe as it flows fully into our vessel. Every breath, we expand in our capacity to receive. We are nourished and filled to overflowing with this divine force of creation. And as we exhale, we release and surrender. Surrender to this flow of fulfillment. Letting go the ideas, the stories, the beliefs that keep us from breathing deeply and fully. Letting go our idea that this can be contained, that what we are receiving is somehow too much. We let go and surrender to this experience of abundance as we breathe it and we are being breathed by it. We breathe in and we breathe out. We breathe in and we breathe out. Every breath expanding our awareness, allowing us to immerse ourselves in this experience. And we breathe. It is in this experience that we begin to notice our power, our inherent power rising from within, emerging in the core of us and radiating outward, blue and crystalline, moving outward in our awareness in our physical and energetic field. We breathe and feel this vibration inherent in our being, a part of us. It cannot be given or taken. It is a part of our wholeness. And we feel it rise up in our consciousness, giving rise to the fullness of our being, to the exponentiality of our capability and capacity to serve in our energy, in our breath, in our being. Our power allows us to resonate more fully. It is not a power to be wielded over other, but to amplify that which is true and right and good and inherent in our being. And around this we experience the vibration of truth. Like a tuning fork that has been struck, it runs through our entire vessel, vibrating with intensity that we may know truth, that we may feel this vibration, this expression, and that we may choose to use it in all conditions. Our knowing within our vessel more clear than what the mind can offer. Breathe. Feeling the infinite love wash over and through us. The light of the Christ consciousness moving into our vessel. Awakening within us the divine blueprint of humanity as creative. We create, therefore we are, dear ones. We receive inspiration through energy, ideas, frequencies coming in. And it is through this creative force that we make manifest that which is resonant with our vessel, that which is resonant with our desires, that which is resonant and life-giving for all. We are also a channel of ideas and inspiration into the collective consciousness. We are open to receive and allow these ideas to move through us, amplified in our power, amplified in our love, amplified in our wisdom and truth, that they may find their sacred home, the garden that will grow them, that will reap the rewards of the inspiration. And we breathe, feeling the waves of harmony move through our body with every breath, aligning all that we are to that which is good, that which is God, that which is life-giving, and in harmony and resonance with our nature, with our mother, and with all that is good for humanity. And we feel this activation of harmony in all that we are, resonating in wholeness. We breathe and feel our wholeness of being. And we breathe and acclimate this in our consciousness, experiencing this vibration, this expression in all of our being. Doubts, fears, worries, limitations do not grow in this vibration. They are incongruent to what is true. And as you breathe, you come to this vibration easily, that you may remember and know who you are. And as you breathe, allow yourself to feel the light amplify outward into the world. The vibration of wholeness, the vibration of light, moving outward, creating spaciousness, that light may flow easily into the consciousness of all of humanity. That your resonance awakens that which desires a new vibration in many. As you breathe in this capacity, you open to feel all that are breathing around the planet, all that are resonant in their wholeness. Feeling this network growing, we find the rhythm in our breathing. The power that is rising and awakening the power in the many. And we breathe. It is in this vibration that you are experiencing the fullness of your I Am presence. Allowing your mind to be used rightly, your emotions to be utilized rightly in their function. You experience the truth of you in this now moment. Breathe in and know that I am. I am. I am. I am. And beautiful souls, let this resonate in and through your vessel. Resonating outward into the consciousness, into the vibration of this planet. As you are resonant, others come to feel this in their vessels and rise to the occasion, dear ones. Beyond their knowing, they find themselves in the rhythm of their breath, willing to experience that which is awakening within them. As you have come to experience this, breathe and feel this awakening in your being. Feel the expanded expression of you. Take notice of where you want to control, to manage, to understand. The habit of the mind is strong. It has been trained, and you have been trained to utilize it in all conditions. Breathe and feel what is true in this now moment. You wish more wisdom, more access. Simply ask for it, dear ones. Feel your energetic field resonate with what it is you are asking, creating a magnet for that which is being drawn to you. That which is being created in alignment for you. Where in this is there room for worry, for fear, for doubt? It is your willingness to experience this fully, to open your hearts, your minds, your vessel, to be in this experience. And as you come to this, as you practice in your opening, you will find greater harmony, dear ones. Greater harmony in your own being. You will come to trust that which resides within. And it will become truer than what you see, than what you hear, than what you read, than what you understand. This is but an invitation, and it is always your choice where you place your energy, your attention, and your yes, and it will be honored as such. We bless you, we honor you as you are, dear ones. And we breathe with you. I'm shaking right now. Right now, everything's like, ooh. Whenever I feel this shakiness, it's like coming back into this vessel that's been, it's so amplified. It's so, ooh. I was out, when I'm out, sometimes I'm here and sometimes I'm elsewhere. And I was like hearing all of this, but it was like I was floating or moving across all of the lands, across this country, seeing the farmlands, the hills, the rivers, the mountains, the forests. I was just like right along, like here's the top of the trees right there, and here's the land. I was just floating along, flying along. Just taking it all in, this beautiful world that we live in. We live in beauty. And our mind sometimes is so designed to break things apart, to see through analysis rather than see through experience. And when in this meditation, as they're talking about experience, they're talking about being like in the vibration of it. And so the mind, it's not that we don't use our mind. It's not that the mind is not valuable. The mind is valuable, right? It is. But we try to process everything through this, and it's like trying to squeeze, like imagine it like a grapefruit, right? Trying to take all of the experience and jam it through there, and it's like shoving all this stuff through sieves, you know. And that's what the mind does. Is it's like a series of sieves trying to get to the most fine particulate, to get down to the essence of things. And the essence isn't in the parts, it's in the whole. It's in all of it. And so the mind can't bring us into that vibration. It doesn't mean that we don't use our mind. Our mind becomes a tool, but we are actively engaging in a new way of experiencing. And so if you had, for those of you who've been doing, like when you hear the experience, I'm curious to know, do you find yourself kind of floating? Do you find yourself like able to be without your mind narrating? I'm curious about that, because that's for me when I'm in the meditation. So I'm both there. The house speaks and allows the channeling, and I am also in the meditation. It's a very interesting experience. Sorry, my nose is really itchy suddenly. You all are thinking about me. But it's like I get to experience it fully. And the experience is this, just very broad. Like if you called it anything else, if you called it a feeling, I'd have to attach meaning to the feeling. If it were floaty, then I'd have to, my mind would be going, is it floaty? Is that floaty, or is it this? What? And so it's like the being in just in the present experience of it. And so there's this training that's happening. If you think about doing this all the time, we are opening, we are acclimating to it. And so acclimation is such an important word in this. And it's like climbing a mountain. Very few people, right? Sherpas can do this, but very few people can climb from sea level to like the top of a mountain. Because as we reach certain points, like our bodies needs time to acclimate, to get adjusted to a different altitude, right? So the oxygen is different. The way our body operates is different. We can't carry as much. We have to consider what we can do. So this is almost the exact opposite of that particular metaphor. So as we move to the summit, we need less, right? So our capacity becomes less, so we have to disregard more, right? In this case, what's interesting, as our vibration, as we acclimate, our capacity is greater. So what we need to do is to be able to acclimate to that which our mind cannot understand, that we can open before we understand it. And trust that we have access, because we start to trust that access is ever present, evergreen, ever available. Imagine this. So as we are growing and as we are expanding, that is, and expanding, it's not like expanding beyond others, because let's just run that one through, right? So that's that ego piece of us that says, well, I'm an individual, right? I'm an individual, I'm whole, I'm an individual. We are whole and we are beings, but we're very much, the more that we come into wholeness, the more we realize that we are less about the skin suit. We are vibrating in that wholeness, and we become permeable to that which is around us, and it becomes harder to separate the Nea-ness from the Brianna-ness, from the Angeline-ness, from the Carolyn-ness. So this is where we start to merge in consciousness, right? Our energy fields merge to even from the tree-ness and the grassness. We become, we're in this, we feel this energy field. And so, but the mind says, no, Nea is a person, grass is grass, it's a plant, they are not the same. We put them into categories, we've filtered that out, and even grass is not the same as a tree. We have names for it. It starts to like break down the experience of wholeness. So the mind actually gets in the way of what it is that many, many, many are trying to access, right? So this practice that we're in, it is one that is teaching us and opening us to a completely different experience. And we will be talking about these in these 4 workshops that I'm doing. The first one is this Saturday. If you've not signed up and you're called to it, I encourage you to join. It's your open channel, and what we were talking about is how do we open? How do we experience this vibration? It will be a lot of channeled guidance and messages. It will be a lot of discussion and talking about experience, as well as going through meditation and talking about how do we bring this into our daily lives? How can we, when we need our mind day to day? I mean, clearly I'm speaking to you in words that get processed through my mind. I can't right now completely let go of this 3rd dimensional world. But we are in a shared experience, and in that shared experience, how do we expand? Does that make sense to everybody? So if you're interested, definitely sign up. You are all more than welcome. If you have questions about it, don't let your question about it get in the way, right? There's no silly question, and you can ask that here, or you can message me, or you can email me. I have had people tell me, I just don't think this class, they self-select out even though they are feeling a call to be there. And I'm not the one going to tell you, you need to be there. That part of you that is already at a yes, that wants to be there, needs to be there. And then they say, well, I don't think I can do it because of X, Y, or Z. Time. I had a client who had a conflict. She had signed up and a family situation came up that was in conflict. And what was interesting, she went and talked with her family and said, I really want to go to this. And what happened was they went, oh, of course we can adjust. Let's move this to this time instead. Whereas before it was a barrier. So our yes, because we're working in this, is going to be speaking to us. We're going to hear it and feel it. So do we honor it? And then the other piece is that when we do say yes, trusting that all that we need shows up. I can attest to it. I have been delightfully proven wrong about my limitations consistently, especially for the last year. Consistently. Things that I'm like, oh no, I couldn't possibly do that. I don't know how I would be. Oh, shoot, that just came right my way. Oh, I couldn't possibly, I just don't have time. Oh, but I really want to do it. The right person shows up. The right opportunity shows up. Somebody who is dying to spend time with my kids shows up. I'm not even kidding. Money, research, it all shows up when we are in our yes. So if you are feeling called, if you want that, if something's in your way and you can't figure it out, message me. We'll figure it out.